Hello, everyone, and my name is Babu Kutala, Chief Data and Analytics Officer for ABB. So ABB is a $26 billion industrial manufacturer headquartered in Zurich, Switzerland. We have over 105,000 employees, and we operate over 100 countries. And we are in business over 130 years. Majorly, we have 4 business areas. We have electrification division, which we make electrification products like circuit breakers, switches, etc., and electrical vehicle chargers. Then we have a motors division. There we make large motors and other small motors, transformers, and large motors. Then we have process automation. There we do a lot of process automation for marines and mines and big factories and sports arenas, etc. Then lastly, we have a robotics, which we make industrial robots for different type of factories, hospitals, etc. So we are a very complex business, as you can see. And in 2020, we initiated a major transformation, which is kind of decentralizing our organization to those four divisions, with the primary focus is having a scorecard-based performance management system to drive the business. And also, at the same time, we have different initiatives started. For example, how do we get a market leadership in some of the IoT and the digital value chain, and then how do we improve our portfolio? So our kind of the vision was, how do we can make a data-driven business decisions? So in order to do that, as you can see, the data is a primary focus. And so we thought the key thing what we need to have is a vision from a data perspective of what capabilities we need to enable, then having a robust architecture and the technology capabilities we need to enable this vision. So the key thing was we don't want to see this as another reporting solution. So we need to really transform ABB to becoming a data-driven company. So we came up with, there are several capabilities we need, things like a culture to data-driven decision making, and also how do we transform our, fuel our transformation initiatives with the data, especially this IoT remote asset monitoring space. And also, we also need to Uberization of analytics, how we make sure that, the right data get the right person at the right time. We need to build a partner ecosystem, and more importantly, we need to have a data platform for tomorrow. As I mentioned, ABB is over 100 companies, and we have a very, we have fragmented landscape. We have over 32 SAP systems around the globe to do our business. And as you know, each SAP system is linked with the BW because that's the way to pull the data. So this is not helping us to build this future, the data needs or our current and the future needs to implement digital value chain, dynamic pricing, so several capabilities. So the data platform for tomorrow was, building up a modern data platform is very critical. While we are doing this, we also need to make sure that we have the right data governance, data quality, then good thought leadership on data analytics space, having the design thinking capabilities, and then building the new analytical skill set. The last, but we need to get into more data science and statistics, etc. So this was our kind of high-level capabilities we needed to transform ABB into a data-driven company. So we were very focusing on saying that, look, this is not a technology project, building another technology platform. We need to do all these things holistically to make ABB becoming a data-driven company. So from this angle, we created kind of, what does that mean to business, right? So we come with a kind of a pyramid approach, data to value. So the key is, we have strategic KPIs to drive our business, how business is executing. Then, below that, we will have our operational performance KPIs to making sure that the day-to-day operations, how this is being executed properly on a day-to-day basis. Then we need to have these advanced analytics capabilities, predictive analytics, process mining to really understand what should be happening or, what just happened. Then we have, functional intelligence capabilities to manage our alerts, notification, and exception-based reporting, etc. For this, the key thing is building that foundation layer, which is a common data platform. That's where we were focusing more on Qlik and Snowflake. As you can see here, the key, one of the other key thing is traceability. We able to link from a strategic KPI all the way to our data produced in any of the SAP system. We during this journey, we thought many things. Okay, what about go for one ERP but the challenge is that takes longer to move all the 32 ERPs into one big ERP. And while we are doing this, there will be we do another acquisition which will bring couple more SAP systems or other ERPs. So we thought, okay, what the best way to do this is integrate the data into a common platform, data platform, and leverage this platform as a service within the organization to support all these needs. So the key was, okay, how do we do this? We want to have the SAP. That's one of the major. Most of our business is done through SAP because we are an industrial manufacturer and it's a B2B. So we don't have that much direct interaction with the consumer. Everything we do either through distributors or our customers are buying big, large products from us. So the goal was having all the data from SAP to one place. So anything from concept to launch, order to cash, purchase to pay. All these things has to be in a one common data platform. You should need to have an enterprise data model. And also we need real-time data. That is one of the other biggest demand we had was having access to an integrated data on a real-time basis, especially we are going to open up new channels for our e-commerce and also for our, the inventory availability, asset monitoring, and some of the new customer facing capabilities. We need to have a real-time access to the data. So we said, okay, here is our approach. We'll build this common data lake. And from here, this will help us to simplify our landscape, which I mentioned. We have, over 2 dozens of BW systems and various other custom data warehouses. This will help us to harmonize that. And also, we can do more business-led reporting. Then also having this value creation, which is enhanced analytical capabilities to really grow our market. So this was the whole goal for our data lake. And based on this, we come with our one philosophy was extract one and use many. So we don't want to go, and that was one of the biggest pain point we had. Any applications, bolted application, those who want to connect to SAP, we are copying the data over and over again. So here we need to make sure that we are only extract once and use it as many times. Then we need to bring it into our a data warehouse platform, which we want to be in a cloud-based data warehouse platform. The goal was the less technical team we need to have, the more business team we need to do more analysis and supporting our advanced analytics capabilities. So our focus was not have too many technical resources within ABB when it comes to our data analytics capability. And also the platform is capable enough to support kind of a raw reporting, which includes this forensic analysis, process mining, etc., operational reporting, then performance reporting, and then advanced analytics capabilities. And the main objective here is transparency from top to bottom. We have to make sure that from the data from all the way from SAP transaction all the way to KPI, we need to have full traceability or transparency, and also all the data, transparency of data, all the data in one place, and integrating through master data architecture and will be the single source of truth. Then we'll have, as I said, like the Uberization, 100% configurable, when you need it or as you need it, and use it. We don't need to go through a heavy exercise of data extraction, data modeling, requirement, etc. Once all this data ready, regardless of what the tools we are using, the business will be able to easily access to this data. And one of our philosophy at in ABB, what we try to implement it as part of this data analytics is, any reports we do has an end of life. So the agility is very fast. Unlike building a application or a user user entry screen, that will have a long life expectancy, and the change is very hard. Where it comes to data analytics, the business asks a question, then after the answer received for the question, the second that question is no longer relevant. They ask a different question. So the speed and agility was a very important factor. So that's one of the reasons we said, okay, we will use Qlik, Attunity, and Snowflake. One is this will be easy to construct the Snowflake side from the data warehouse. Then the Attunity is giving us this real-time data access from SAP to our ecosystem. So against this backdrop, this is the kind of the high-level architecture we decided to implement. Then we get into a little bit more specific. One of the other goals when we build this is also we do not want to wait another a year to complete all this journey, all this process to get a value out of it. So what we decided is every time when we move the data, there will be a big business value coming out of this. So this is kind of a little bit our detailed architecture. So here you can see, we use this Attunity replicate to bring the data into our raw data lake. This is so this replicate is running, or literally in real time. So from this raw data lake, we do a lot of process analysis. We use Celonis to do a lot of process mining and a lot of forensic analysis, to do some auditing, etc. From there, we move the data into a pre-processed using Qlik's Compose into a processed data lake. That's where we do a lot of operational reporting, functional scorecards, alerts. Okay, what is your on-time delivery? Is it dropping, or how is the inventory at the plant, at our RDC, etc. From there, we transform this data into more like a business data lake. It's kind of a data warehouse. It's more aggregated, harmonized, standardized. That's where we do a lot of the dashboard, scorecards, trends, variance, data exploration, etc. And all these information layer tools, we use Celonis, Qlik, Power BI, Tableau, has access to all this data, different type of data lakes within our platform. So then, apart from SAP data, we are also bringing data from our IoT type of data. We're bringing some of our devices, some of the machines we implemented within ABB factory. Then a lot of third-party data we are also integrating, from the competitor intelligence, market research, etc. So this is the kind of little bit detailed, I would say, architecture. And the two tools we predominantly use for this is Attunity for the data extraction layer, and also the data lake is Snowflake. And because of ABB, as a globally business large company, the way we build our architecture policy was logically one, physically multiple. So we build this architecture framework or a blueprint, then we have three implementations. We have the same architecture, one in here in Americas region, and other one is in European region, and other one is in Asia Pacific. The reason we build this kind of data is it will give us that flexibility and this agility if you want to operate within the region, number one. And the second, also some of the data privacy issues we can easily handle because we are not copying the data from one region to other region. So that also kind of help us, that flexibility and kind of the modular kind of scalability also when we build new capabilities. So today, in our platform, we have, more real-time data as well as our analytics capabilities coming from one data platform ecosystem. So basically, we used this platform predominantly, using as a data Uberization. That's what I mentioned. And this came as very handy while we are doing, when we are with the COVID. One of the biggest challenges when we faced COVID was the reliability on the supply chain. So because we have all the data, raw data, and also we consolidated data in our data lake, we able to really focus on particular country, particular region, and assess what is the COVID impact is. So we able to, getting the data from third parties, okay, what is the COVID exposure, and how we are going to link with our supply chain. What are the suppliers are being impacted by this, or what is the on-time delivery particular plant? We have a highest exposure in that area. So this is kind of really helped us to build that, I would say, business resiliency and the responsiveness to the COVID. And also now, we are using these capabilities to build new products and new products offerings. So one of the biggest things, the COVID is coming with a lot of demand for asset monitoring, and also for some of the warranty support. Some of those things. With the pandemic, we cannot send, or the business, or the customer really don't want our service technicians come over there. So getting that visibility for the, what is the repair parts, how much is the inventory availability, and how we can manage this from a remote point of view, and this platform is also helped very well to do that. The next thing, what we are doing is now from the pricing, how we can use, more like a dynamic pricing, adding more data attributes and more data capabilities to, to drive, to increase our profitability, or new price recommendations or new product recommendations to the customer. This platform is contributing as platform as a service. From here, see, basically, as I mentioned again, this was a 7-month project. We started, we did a proof of concept in 2019, September till November. Then we signed the contract, and we kicked off the project in January. And so this is a kind of a little bit summary of what we have today. So this is our first fully cloud-based data lake and data warehouse in ABB. And this is a big change, and we did it in the support of the business was great, because in a 130-year-old company, and educating on the cloud, that was a little bit challenge, but we kind of succeeded in the challenge. We connected with the 37 SAP system. The data is feeding to data lake every 2 minutes, 24/7, 365 days. We have an average 550 tables we extracting on this real-time based from SAP. Some cases it's 600, 650, depend upon how much customization happened in SAP. There are so many Z tables, that need that customization. But an average 550 tables from order to cash, demand to build, and record report after service in that ecosystem. We have data in our in data lake available from 10 years to 20 years. The reason, sometimes we have 10 years and sometimes we have to 20 years, because of that is the history we have in SAP. So when we integrated, we pulled the entire data set from SAP. So that's other thing, in our data lake, is the only place we have all the data from other than SAP from a historical perspective. And today we have over 63 terabytes of data, and it's keep growing. As I mentioned earlier, we are not a retail having petabytes of data. We are an industrial manufacturer. So, but it's growing literally in a double fold. The largest table we have in our data lake is a controlling document item, which has over 2.3 billion records. We process 250 million records every day, which means there are 250 million transactions happened in SAP is moved into in our data lake on a minute-by-minute basis. There are 7,000 common data attributes available for data analysis, and the query response time is 2 seconds. from over 80 million transactions. So this is the kind of a little bit summary of the outcome from our data platform journey. And so we had last 2 weeks ago, our CFO sent a message to the entire ABB employees saying that look, these kind of platforms are now helping to make process simplification for fast and strategic action. So this is the comment he put it there. Like in the past, we have to really wait sometimes once a month to get orders and revenue, and where we are now on a month-to-month basis. Now we have it on a daily basis and sometimes in a real-time basis from the divisional president to all the way to the sales force. So we have this plan to president model all the way from a president to all the way to a sales rep has a consistent view of the data through either through their laptops or iPads or mobile phone. So this is really helped to we can act with speed and agility to address the gap we have in the market.